All right, so now Bob has completed the centrifugation step and he's going to transfer the supernatant to a new tube and add 350 microlitres of isopropanol.
So before we actually do that, what we can actually do is here we've got the samples that have centrifuged, and we can actually, if we tilt it slightly, you can actually see the pellet of all that junk tissue matter is actually all stuck to the bottom. And now we're just going to transfer the supernatant, which is the stuff in the solution, but not that solid matter. We're going to transfer that solution into another test tube. Okay, so it's important to make sure that W1 for wheat sample 1 lines up with wheat sample number 1. And we just transfer that. Okay. So yeah, as you may remember, said when we centrifuge a sample to actually put the hinge pointing outwards, so therefore the pellet forms on this side here. So when we're actually going to draw up that solution, we can actually have our tip of our pipette on this side, so on the opposite side of the hinge. So therefore we just draw up the liquid and we leave the junk, the solid matter, behind. And then we transfer the solution, or the supernatant, into our test tube, or Eppendorf tube, sorry, or microcentrifuge tube number labelled W2 for wheat sample number 2. Close the lid on this so we don't mix things up. And you may also note that I'm using a new tip every time I'm transferring the solution from one Eppendorf tube or microcentrifuge tube to another. Now what I'm going to do is transfer
350
microlitres of isopropanol. So I need to adjust my Eppendorf, my auto pipette to 350 microlitres. As you can see, that's 0 and 3. Think of that as between those two numbers, as put a point there. So that's actually 0.35 of the mil, or 350 microlitres. And what I'll do is now transfer 350 microlitres of isopropanol, and that will just help with the precipitation or the sedimenting of the DNA from the solution.
All right, next step, mix by inversion.
Which is just simply moving it up and down. Make sure we put our lid back in our solution so we don't...
And now centrifuge at maximum speed for 10 minutes.
Okay, so everyone can see that. So essentially just making sure that everything's been evenly resuspended.
Yep, and back into the centrifuge.
Back into the centrifuge. Once again, we remember we need to put the hinges pointing outwards. That also allows us to make it easy to know where the pellet's going to, what side of the microcentrifuge tube the pellet's going to be. We make sure it's once again across the axis of the rotor of the centrifuge. So therefore, because we've also got the same amount of volume in each microcentrifuge tube that's going to run or centrifuge samples balanced. Okay, now we're going to crank it up to 10 minutes. Increase the speed for 10 minutes at 13,200 revs per minute. Okay, and